Hello, everybody. This is Dave Blair here, and I want to talk about Forza Horizon 4. So it's been announced; it's coming out. Here, I'm racing a train. So this is Forza Horizon 3, and this is one of the signature events where they give you a car. In this case, it's the Camaro here, and you have to race a train. Again, it's the signature, one of their signature events. I think there's four, maybe five of them in this game. I really enjoy them, especially like when you're up right here alongside the train. You can really feel it rumble in your car. Um, just really like the signature events in these. Wish there were more. Anyway, I feel like they missed an opportunity on this one though, because while you go over the train and under the train, you don't cut in front of the train. Um, and that's probably in there for safety reasons. They don't want kids getting the wrong idea, but I really feel like they missed an opportunity here where you should have had to beat the train to a railroad crossing or get hit by the train. I think that would have been fantastic. Um, but anyway, so you either go over it or under it. Um, so I wanted to talk about Forza Horizon 4. So it's been announced and it's coming out, and it's going to be in Japan, I think is what they said. Um, anyway, my thoughts on it, or my prediction is that I believe that Forza Horizon 4 is going to be Microsoft's unveiling of VR for Xbox. And again, I haven't heard this anywhere, but I was thinking about it, and it's like this is a excellent game to bring VR to the Xbox. And as we all know, simulation games or driving games, flying games, space simulators, any type of simulation type of game where you're in a cockpit is the best for VR. So, Microsoft has come out with uh, partnering with four different companies with their AR or mixed VR, mixed reality headsets. Acer, Lenovo, Samsung, and there's one other one, Dell. Anyway, I'm going to get out of this. This is just a replay here. So I really feel like they could announce VR for Xbox at E3. Um, and this would be the game that they would use to bring it, in my opinion. I think it would be awesome. Anyway, we're going to continue here. So, one of the other things that I'd like to see, or actually going back to VR, so what I wanted to talk about was the Crew 2. They have where they have planes and boats that you can drive now. Um, I see that as a possibility too. Like if they do announce VR for Forza Horizon, sorry, it's hard to talk and drive at the same time. If they do announce VR, I could see it. I mean, I think it would be awesome if they would add in a plane or a helicopter or even like the drone. So in Forza Horizon 3, you do have this drone mode where you can fly a drone. This is mainly for taking pictures, but they kind of give you a just basically, I don't know, some flyable drone. You can't. This is as high as you can go. Again, it's not fantastic, but I don't know. It's in here. I could see them doing something with VR and the drone. Anyway, let me get out of that. Or, like I said, if they give us an airplane to fly, that would be kind of cool. If they would give us a helicopter to fly, that would be cool. And the other thing that I would like to see them do is since we're going to Japan, um, what I would like them to do is use their Bing Maps or Google Maps, those types of things where it's a one-to-one recreation. Don't just make up roads. So like this one here. So you have this bend here really for no reason. Oh, I just got hit. Um, what I'm saying is like this is supposed to be Australia, and they have laid all these roads in here, but I'm sure they're not accurate. You know if anybody knows what I'm saying. So what I would like to see them do is do the like Google Maps or their Bing Maps, recreate Japan exactly one to one, and then let's say you're downtown Tokyo and you're driving around, and it would be as accurate as it could be. And let's say you wanted to drive to Mount Fuji, which is a realistic drive. So what I would like to see them do again is take the Google Maps, recreate it one to one, and I want to drive from Tokyo to Mount Fuji, and I want it to be realistic day and time too. So if I am there and it is, let's say I'm really for my day and time, let's say it's March 15th. So I want the weather and I want the weather to be accurate for March 15th, and I'm driving from Tokyo to Mount Fuji. Let's say I'm driving at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, I want it to be accurate. So, like you see here, it's raining. If it's really raining on March 15th, that's what I want the weather to be at 7 a.m. If it's really raining at 7 a.m. on March 15th while I'm driving to Tokyo to Mount Fuji, that's the way I want it to be in the game. I don't know if they could do that, if they could make it that accurate, but I think that would be pretty awesome. And again, let's say if I lived in Tokyo and I'm playing the game and I'm driving downtown Tokyo, and I could say, you know what, I've never driven down this street before in reality, but I've driven down this street in Horizon, so I feel like I've been here before. I think that would be totally cool. And just think of the implications that it could have if eventually Forza Horizon went, maybe all of Europe or all of the United States. And again, you could drive, you could say, oh, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. And you could put on your VR headset. You could drive in with accurate day and time and traffic patterns for that day and time. The weather is accurate. I think that would be totally awesome. And you're like, I've never driven to the Grand Canyon before, but I just did it in VR in Forza Horizon, and I feel like I was there. I don't know. I just think that would be pretty cool. Or you could also say, okay, I want to drive from my house to the airport, and it's 7 a.m. and I want to see how long it's going to take me to get to the airport if I drive in realistic traffic conditions, and I want that to be accurate in the real world. Or if you say, well, would it be better if I left it at 9 a.m., And again, I don't know how accurate they could get. It seems like you could tap into the news and things like that for a certain area. And, if there are traffic problems, if there's traffic jams or there's an accident, and have it recreated in the game. I don't know. I think that would be pretty awesome. So, again, I feel like they may announce VR and support those headsets through Forza Horizon 4. I've, I I'm almost positive that they are going to have the avatars that they had in Forza Motorsport 7. So you're probably going to have different avatars and different outfits that you can wear. I'm pretty sure that's going to be there. And again, maybe you'll be able to get out of your car. Maybe you'll be able to have a house that you have a garage that you can pull into. Um, and again, if they are adding VR and they at the bare minimum they give you VR support for the drone, or maybe they give you an airplane that you can fly. You could drive to the airport, get into an airplane, and fly that around in VR. I don't know. That might be asking for too much with the accurate maps and accurate weather. But yeah, so my prediction is though that they are going to bring VR. I think that's going to be a thing this year for Microsoft, and I hope that they accurately reproduce Japan so that you can actually drive down all the roads and feel like you've actually been there. I mean, don't gamify it like they did with this one with Australia, where they try to cram in all of Australia into a smaller area. So if it takes me an hour to drive from Tokyo to Mount Fuji for real, then that's how long I want it to take me in the game. I don't know. That might be asking too much because I kind of see, they do have to make it so that people don't get bored. But um, one of the other things that they could do, like in this game, one of the things that upsets me about this game is if I want to go back to the train that we just ran, okay, I can set a route there and then drive back there, or I can fast travel, but it costs me 1,800 credits. Now, I don't know, that really ticks me off about this game is that they charge for fast travel. Um, I don't think I don't think you should have to be charged for fast travel. They should allow you to fast travel. I can understand exploring the map. You shouldn't be able to fast travel anywhere you haven't been before. But once you've been there, um, you should be able to fast travel along the map. And that would solve some of that problem where you're like, okay, I want to drive, um, the length of Japan, but I don't want to take 4 hours to do it. So, you should be able to fast travel to the sections that you want to drive on. Anyway, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover as far as how I feel or what I think about um, Forza Horizon. Oh, one other thing, you should be able to change cars. That's another thing too. It's like if I want to get into a different car, it won't just let me swap cars. I have to go back to one of these hubs to swap a car. And it's like, see, I have to pay to have this delivered. No, just let me get into whatever car I want to get into. Because the problem, all right, hold on, let me turn her off. The problem with um, the problem with this game is when I go to a different race. So if I want to go to a race, I happen to be in an S2 class car here. Um, I have to once I go to a race, it'll tell me like I have to pick a different car and it'll be A class. So I'll pick the A class car and then when I'm done with that race, it just dumps me out in whatever car I chose to have that race. It won't put me back in the car that I was there in. Because if I'm if I have you're taking away fast travel from me, so I have to drive between events. I want a faster car so I can get to the next event in the least amount of time. But then when I get to that event, I get to pick the car that I want to put in that event, say a D class car, maybe is what they're calling for. And so then I'm in a D class car. When I finish that race, they leave me in that D class car, and it's like, no, I came here in a faster car. I want to leave here in that car. Anyway, so that's a couple of the gripes I have about this game, but I don't know. This is a good game, and it's got a lot of good things going for it. I'm looking forward to Forza Horizon 2. Um, Also, I hope that they give us the interior view and take away the steering wheel because I don't like having another steering wheel in front of my steering wheel. But anyway, if they would take away the steering wheel and maybe even give us the option to move our seat, if we want to move closer or further back or up or down, just the ability to adjust our seat from the interior view would be greatly appreciated. Um, yeah, so anyway, that's my thoughts. Again, I really hope they bring VR to Xbox, and I really hope that they use this game to show off what it can do. I mean, even if they do like a simple thing like the PlayStation VR has, just make the VR good, but just make it. It doesn't have to be room scale. It doesn't have to be a VR set. Well, they probably will. But if you wanted to just make a cheaper version of VR to get people into it with just a racing game and be like, this is not a room scale VR type of thing, this is a seated position, driving a car or flying a plane, or, you could make a ton of games uh, that could come out and support VR without having to walk around in the room scale type of thing, which I don't think is a very good experience. So anytime you have a seated experience, whether you're driving a car, a plane, flying a spaceship, those type of things are great in VR, and those should be supported. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. I probably rambled on for too long. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.